Hey guys, in this video I want to show you the $865,000 CBO strategy, something that works very well for us right now. And you can see here, so this is the ad spend and this is what was generated. Now the strategy here, guys, as you can see, it's basically very simple. Right, so we have, you can see, only like one ad set that is active, and also there are like 6 creatives on the advertising side here, and only like 2 of them you can see are active. So basically the breakdown is very simple. The whole strategy is very simple, but it also involves a lot of the UGC. Right, so UGC is user-generated content, something that you should leverage like tremendously if you want your company, your brand to grow like moving forward. Now what's important about this strategy is that, and now guys, I'll give you all of the templates, how to reach out, for example, what kind of like influencers to reach out for this content, how to structure the relationship in this video. So I'll give you all of the elements that you need to actually execute on it. Now before we start, guys, please just make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss videos like this in the future. So basically the structure here is very simple. You can see it's basically only 1 or 2 ad sets per campaign, right? So we keep it very simple. Majority of these like ad sets that we are using, they're just broad targeting, which is like 18 to 65 United States, for example, or like key countries you are targeting. No specific targeting, no like very detailed targeting. You know, all of these people that are out there like selling you the software like that pinpoints like this very like nugget like specific audience. All of this is crap, guys. Because once your pixel gets sufficient amount of data, you don't need a lot of targeting. You can just go like broad, which is like 18 to 65. Sometimes with some of our accounts, we just go like worldwide with no targeting at all. Audiences that are like 500 million people or audiences 1 billion people, and it still performs very well. With that being said, lookalike audiences perform very well. I'll show you how to structure these lookalike audiences and what exactly the lookalike audiences that work well. What's important here, guys, is that we are using the pages of specific influencers, people who have audiences on Facebook, and we are advertising from their pages, right? This is awesome because if you're advertising from their pages are not e-commerce. Those typical like public figures, those typical like entertainers, right? So those are the people don't have feedback score. So that's great because, you know, we don't get hit by those. That's amazing. Also, it adds like a lot of like personality. So when you're advertising from your company, from your brand, it's one perspective. But then if some person specifically advertises from their side, and also sometimes, you know, to their own like followers, it's totally different perspective. And we are using like $250 to $400 a day budgets on these CBOs. Like all of these things are very like streamlined and very simple. And you can see here in terms of the CBO structure, so we will go with broad, let's say 1, for example, like very typical structure for us, like it's 1 broad or lookalike audience of customers. And the way we structure these audiences, guys, is like 0 to 1. Let me just show you how we build these audiences. For example, here, if you go here and create like a lookalike audience, so then you'd have to create, let's say, like this one. Let's say this like pixel. Let's say you want to do this one. Then what you can do is you can just scroll this, right? So for example, if you do, and that's the best type of the audience that works for us. So for example, 0 to 1. So that will be considered like 1%. Let's say we choose like United States. So you can see it's called like, so the name of the audience, right? And then we have 1% of US, right? Then if we scroll to 5%, that's like 5% of US. So these are the best types of the audiences that work for us right now. Before, we used to do it this way, right? So before we used to do more like, as you can see, like 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Right now, what we're seeing, like stuff that works for us, basically these ones, right? So we build like them more like manually, right? So like 0 to 5, then 0 to 6. But then you can see like how many different audiences you have here, right? There are plenty of audience. Just from this one here, guys, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have like 10 different audiences that we can use for these CBOs. So once you've dialed in basically the structure here, and the optimization is very simple, because let's say if you're using only one ad set per campaign, then you can just watch on the campaign level and see if it is profitable, right? And you will quickly see, because it's only one ad set, if it's not profitable, then you would have to shut down that ad set. But you can see, like, you can quickly structure this whole like system here, quickly set it up, and you can see how many audiences. Now that doesn't even include, guys, so obviously broad, right? We can have different age ranges for the broad. We can also have, for example, let's say if we do from, like, you can see 1 to 10%, right? So 2 to 10, the amount of different like variables here, then 2 to 9, let's say 2 to 8, right? 3 to 7. So how many different like variables? So even here, again, we have another like, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the amount of different lookalikes that we can test once we validated this concept is just tremendous. We can do one CBO per campaign, right? One lookalike per campaign, and just structure many of those. Now, I like when everything is more simple within the ad accounts, right? That's my personal preference, when you keep it more like consolidated. But for example, for some accounts, it might make sense to keep it more like separated, like here. So then you test more variables here, more on the campaign level, right? Utilizing the same content that you have. Let's say you have like 5-10 pieces of content. I'll show you exactly how to source that content, guys. By the way, if you're looking for help like scaling your e-commerce business, there should be a link below this video, Advanced Program E-commerce Scaling Secrets. So basically we would help you and show you what's working for us inside of our business, how we basically scale, how we source the content, like all of these things that will allow you to scale your business, including infrastructure, including Q4 preparation, all of those things, guys. So make sure you check it out. The link should be somewhere in the description. You can see how many different like variables. So you would have, let's say, even here you have like 10 different CBOs that you can test, right? Once you have those like variations of the content that you want to test. So that's on that side, guys. That's more kind of like on the structure side. And we give each ad set 4x KPI to spend. Now, if you, and then if it's not profitable, basically shut it down. Now, if you're lower in budget, you can do like 1x or like 2x. And then again, you would see the performance from the campaign overview, because one campaign only has like one ad set, for example. Then the overview of the whole campaign would become very simple. Like you would, on a daily basis, you would log in into your dashboard and you would see how much each campaign is producing for you. So that's helps you with optimization. So then we're just killing what's not performing here. Now, how to get these people, how to get these like influencers in the first place, right? So these are just of the 2 ways that you can use, guys. So one of them is called Hipsy. So this was just one of the tools that you can utilize, and you can see you can do like filters for different, you can do like filters for, say, for the age range, right? Let's say that's what kind of, let's say we wanted to go for these specific people, right? And you can see typically what we see, like this guy has like pretty good engagement. And then, so this is, I think this is like the free version of the tool. You can upgrade if you want. We use more like a manual research, and I'll show you how that looks like. Guys, typically look for like influencers that have 5 to 100,000 followers and subscribers. They're typically more like authentic with their audience. They have like better connections. They have better engagement. When they recommend something, people actually buy. Now, that's not like always the case, but that's typically the range. And also we basically at the beginning, because they're not as spoiled, you know, these like influencers and brand ambassadors, they're not spoiled with compensation. They're not expecting like hundreds of thousands of dollars for their like few words on camera. Because of that, they might just go for free product first. You might send them the product, nice packaging, right? So if you're drop shipping, right, if you have like branded packaging, so that might work. But if you just like drop shipping something from China, something that has like not very nice like packaging, then probably it will not work, because people would not want to promote something, be involved with something that doesn't look good. And also like just investing in that packaging, investing in that branding, guys, I mean, that just makes sense, because you can have like more satisfied customers, and you can have, you know, lower like returns ratio, and you can just be more profitable, and for the long term, better feedback score. So it just has a bunch of benefits that just kind of makes sense. So the compensation here, let's say they say, hey, you know, thank you for reaching out, but you know, we have like typically companies pay me like this much for promotion. So we are looking for this range, $100 to $1,000. 1,000 is more like on the higher side, only if it makes sense. Kind of you can see how many followers they have, and then you can utilize it content again and again, and also ask them what's the reasonable compensation if they're not straight about that. Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys. For example, let's say if we were selling like if we were selling MCT oil, right? This is just example. This is not you know the product that we sell, but for example here you have all bunch of people here, right? And some of the people, like for example, this guy here has like, he probably has like millions of followers. Yeah, he has like 2.3 million followers, right? So he's a big guy. He has like a big audience. But then, for example, here, like this one, let's say, he doesn't have that big of an audience. His audience, like 18,000 subscribers. I mean, this could be the guy like who you could hire for this, right? The only thing with this is like you wanna typically, right? Like if you see that, let's say, like someone hasn't like really like figured out the content, right? Someone like this guy doesn't seem like he's posting every day, but he doesn't get like too many views, and so probably like the content that he creates like just does not resonate with like too many people, because like with even if it was 18,000 subscribers, only having like 50 views on a video, that's just like too low. Let's say this one, let's check this one out. So almost like 1 million subscribers, and you can see it's quite consistent. So they have some views here, right? Like 70, 30,000. So these are more like reasonable, and they have been around for a few years now. They have a bunch of, so these are the people you could potentially, let's say that was your product, you can collaborate with them on this structure. So this is the company now, and they're very large, so they won't collaborate promoting other products. This one here, let's check this one out. 169, also like quite reasonable. You can see how many like views they have here. I mean, these don't have too many views, majority of them, and how often this person uploads. They upload like quite a lot. Not all of them are getting the views though, but I mean, that's potentially could be the, you know, someone to collaborate with. And I mean, guys, we are just on the first page. You can see how many different, like, for example, this one. This guy also has like a smaller like audience, but I mean, considering he has like 10,000 subscribers, he's getting like close to 1,000 views. It's quite like reasonable. He seems to know like celebrity, and so you can see this could be like a good fit, right? For instance, for this particular product. So you can see, I believe so that's kind of like, I guess that could be like someone just like paid him to promote these products, or that's his own brand. But you can see the production quality is not that high, right? That's the only like thing that you can see. Production quality, I mean, it's not everything, but it is, you know, for YouTubers, like that's kind of, if they do that, even for example, this lady here, see how many followers she has. Doesn't show like how many followers she has. It's very weird. You can see the quality of production here is a bit better. So you just go through all of these, right? You can give like your virtual assistant to do this and basically compile a list of people that kind of like fill these criteria, right? When you have these, then you can like reach out to them and basically structure this relationship. Either, you know, send them like a free product at first, and these are very like rough videos. There is no editing, guys. Pretty much the whole structure for this video is that you can use for this like CBO, and overall like for other structures that you might have. This is just what works, you know, for us. So basically the video structures is, hey, you know, I got this package. Let's say I got this like, you know, let's say I got this water from this like company, and here's what's awesome about this water is that, you know, it has no like artificial like elements, it has 0 sweeteners, it has like 0 calories, and here's how I use it. So on a daily basis, I'm drinking this like in the morning. I drink it in afternoon, and I drink it like 2 bottles before I go sleep, and I feel myself so much better after like, you know, the time that I started drinking it. And here is why it's better than like regular Coke or, you know, regular like soda, is because it doesn't have, you know, sweeteners. You don't gain like weight from it. You don't get like, I don't know, you don't feel bad, or you don't feel like sluggish after you drink it. And if you guys want to check it out, if you want to buy it and try it for yourself, I highly recommend it. You just go to, you know, whatever, like website.com and just get it, right? So it's a very simple structure. This is literally what it takes, right? And because of the authenticity, because of like the advertising, if you advertise from like influencer pages, like it just feels more like natural. And also if you can retarget their own like followers, that's even better. And so basically this like combination of like UGC, of like influencer marketing, utilizing your own like customers and brand ambassadors in your own advertising, I mean, that's been like, you know, getting like more and more popular and more efficient, you know, the last like few years. Now it just like, I just think that's the only way to go, because if you continue to advertise like random products, compiling all of these videos, and you can make money from it. But then long term, if you think about it, like doesn't build like any like brand equity, right? It doesn't build like any like content that can be like repurposed. It doesn't build like any like repeat customers most of the times. And so that's why, you know, this is something that we started utilizing. So this is it, guys. This is 865K CBO strategy. So these are some of the things you can just like take and implement for yourself immediately. Start gathering the UGC, start sourcing, you know, basically user generated content, utilizing it in your business, and start getting amazing results. The budgets, you can see it. So for the budgets like 250 to 400, this is subject to testing, because for example, in some accounts we managed to do like $1,000, $1,500 per day and performs well. But here, the consideration here is only one asset per campaign typically. So we don't want to be like very aggressive, because then Facebook might spend the budget but not necessarily deliver the necessary amount of conversions for us to be profitable and have amazing ROAS. So this is it, guys. This is 865,000 CBO strategy. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like this video, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you are looking for help with scaling your e-commerce business, only for experienced business owners, not for people who are just like starting out. There should be a link below this video where you can apply for a program, e-commerce scaling secrets, and I'll see you guys there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you, guys.